Hey, happy Tuesday. That lighting system's still a mess. That's going to take a little while. We have a top 50 video speed run. I've done a couple of these. This is for my top 50 overall. It's pretty much in precise order, but kind of a little bit lacking precision. That is a set that is on this top 50 list, and if you comment below this video, and you also got to find it on the unboxing channel because there's an unbox there. I believe it's the trailer. And if you're good to go as a subscriber over there and you commented and under this video, then that will be announced on that channel. Like I said, I'm pretty much caught up. This is the high-tech system that we've got here. Let me go ahead and start the recording now. All right, there we go. Now let's get into this. I'm recording this screen because I'm going to edit it somehow in the video. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Try to make it large size so that you guys can see it. Let's go ahead and start with number 50. Number 50 would be the Symphonium Audio Meteor. I believe that's the company that made that. I'm going to go ahead and put this here. So out of about 2,000 to 3,000 sets that I've got listed one place or another, I would put this in the top 50 and put it right at number 50. The next one would be the U12T, which is right here. And then the next one after that would be the Variations, which would be right here. Let's stop for a moment and take a look at this right here. Putting the U12T at like 49 out of 50 is very, very, very different than a lot of people's opinion that you will get in this hobby. But I'm a big believer that there's a lot of parroting in this hobby, and a lot of people hear stuff briefly and kind of get an idea of why people love it, and then it kind of goes that way. I never thought that this was a great set. I've been consistent for about 6 years. I get why people love it, I just don't, and it's not something that I would grab, so it sits down there at, I guess, about around 48. Next after that would be the Sony XBA Z5, and this is probably the oldest on the list. And where is that? Here we go. The Super Tweeter that they have, the BA on this, I love it. It's one of the better high treble super tweeters that I've ever heard in any set, and it's by Sony. And also the diaphragm is actually LCP. It's not like the Chi-Fi ones. It's a great set. It's a take it or leave it for a lot of people, but I think it's a classic, and it belongs in my personal top 50. After that, we've got the Legend X by Empire Ears, and that is right here. And then the next one is going to be the Sennheiser IE600. I wasn't a fan of the 900. I like the 600 though. And then after that is going to be the 5A, which is actually here. I like that set a lot. And then after that is going to be the Odin. And again, where Odin looks like it's number 43. That's a lot of people's number one set right there. It's got too much ear game for me. It's not something that I would listen to, and I'm also familiar with the drivers that are inside it, where they came from, and what the quality is. So the blessing and the curse, when you get all tripped up on what's going on and look inside and talk to people, some things lose their luster a little bit, particularly when they cost that much money. Next on my list would be the Twilight, which is, I'd like to say a shout out to Grizzly, who's somewhere out there. I think he loves this set. It's in my top 40. After that would be another set by the same company. Actually, this is Moondrop, and it's called the Illumination. Just a note, because a lot of people's top lists kind of reflect a couple things. One is what is expensive and people say is awesome, and two is who sources things to them. I'm pretty sure that Shenzhen and Hi-Fi Go have more sets on my list than Linsol. I haven't bothered to look, but starting to look at it now as I'm going, I think you can count it up yourself later if that's something that you consider to be a bias, which you really should when you consider these lists. So they're well represented, if not more than one of the bigger providers of this channel. The next would be the RSV, and again, this is another set that comes out of Shenzhen Audio. I think it's a beast. I like it a lot. So we've got the Twilight, the Illumination, and the RSV. They're all coming out of the same house, or those two sellers right there. And another. This is what Unscripted does for you. This is the S8. I love the S8. I love the build quality of the S8. I love the sound quality of the S8. It's a classic set that has not lost its luster to me. Also, the Variations is down here too. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so far right here. I really like the S8. The Solace 2, it just keeps going. Super heavy. Cable is garbage, but going by sound quality and stuff that I would pick up and listen to, yeah, I'll go with that one. I'll go with the Raven next. The Raven got really dinged because it had the shells were exploding. Let's go right to it. There's a reason that Empire Ears is collaborating with another company for their next release, because they ate so much loss on this right here. It was devastating. But I thought it sounded good in a kind of unique way. But this is my list, so here we keep going. Next would be the Anole VX. I was going to put this maybe higher, but it's kind of like the U12T in that it's all BA. It's kind of warmish. It's not a detailed beast, but it is a nice long listen set. It lacks impact. It's not a really highly resolving set to my ears, like the U12T, because of the warmth. It just takes away from it. I get, again, why people like it. I'm just not the biggest fan of it. Next would be the Top, which is, this is going to be a lot of people going to say, I can't believe you put that over the, and then insert some set that I've already put up there. I love the Top. I think it's almost a perfect balance of being a bassy set, but still giving you all the other stuff, and it's 500 or below, I'm pretty sure, for that set. So price to performance ratio on that set is excellent. Next would be the Divinity by Thea Audio, which is their first Thea Audio jumping up in here. It's a good set. I like it. It graphs a lot like the Odin, I think. Somebody showed me a graph of the Odin and the Divinity. I think it was Critical, and they were pretty close at that time, those two graphs that I saw. Next would be the Helios SE by Symphonium Audio. That would go next. I keep looking left because I'm looking at my list. After that would be the IR Z1R. Put that there. And then after that would be the next Anole, which I think is the V14 Plus. I can't remember the name of this. I have it, but I don't really listen to it. But it had multiple profiles, including one that was really perfect for me. I think it was the rock setting. So it's like a QDC Anole, I think with another driver, and it's got like 3 or 4 profiles. So it's, I dig it more than the original, but it's really based off the original. Next is going to be around number 38, and that would be the, where are we? This is the Indigo. Let's go ahead and put this up there. And that is by Unique Melody. It's not quite as high up there as I used to think. Recency bias when you move away from stuff, and how much do you actually listen to it. The Supernova I would take over it. Supernova is a legit beast. The set that's on my table that someone's going to get down here today, the Mega 5 EST. I can get what DMS said, but this is where personal bias comes in. But I can get it. There's some people that said, that's ridiculous. There's no way that compares with a Storm. And that's your bias speaking. But that's the hobby of being in a place where subjective opinion is dominating almost everything in this hobby. After this would be the PMG Audio Apex, which was almost perfect except for this is higher on my personal score sheet, but it's no longer available, I don't believe, because they retuned it, and I don't know what the new one sounds like, so it's dropping down my list, or I'll probably take it off because I take unavailable sets, which is why Elysian Annihilator 2021 and Elysian X aren't on this list, because you can't buy them anymore. So I'm not putting stuff on the list that are completely unavailable. If there's something up here unavailable, let me know and I'll mention it in the comments, or I'll just thumb you up because you mentioned it. Next would be the Mast Mark II. I'll put that up here. After that would be the Cadenza. I'll put that up here. I'm not really paying attention to these. Let me go ahead and take the 62B and put it at top of the world so we can start to do stuff up here, and then get back down to the list. And we are at the Aroma Audio Jewel. Let me go ahead and put this up here. Let me go ahead and put this up there. This is the Prestige LTD. It's a very good set. Singularity. It's also a very good set. the EJ07 original, a set that kind of, I saw something by Precog talking about detail, and he talked about one thing, that a lot of the stuff I thought was like water is wet, but he pointed out something that people that are younger are going to have the ability to pick up stuff that older people can't. So when you see something on a frequency response graph and there's not a lot at the end, and you think, well, there's no energy there. Yes, there is. Your ability to pick it up is case by case. Like, your hearing ability literally will determine whether or not you pick up the late harmonics on cymbals and other stuff. Regardless of what a graph says, there is information there. It's just not up on the scale there. The EJ07 is like that. It plays back rock, and I never felt like the cymbals were suffering because of it. It's an absolute total classic beast. Next after that is going to be Critical Set, which is the Dawn. I'm going to put that in Fantastic. For some reason, and I saw people talking on HeadFi, they were taking it off of their list. I don't know if there was a problem between Crin and Linsol, or I don't know what happened with that. It's not something that people pay attention to anymore, but it's an all BA EST, fantastically tuned set. It sounds amazing. It's still by far the best set that Crin's ever done, and it goes up at the top of the list. I have my Jupiter right here, and I was going to put it right next to Crin's because I think mine's better than Crin's, but I think I'll go ahead and not do that. But it's on here, as you can see. Next would be the Aura. The Aura. It's a Assel and Kern collaboration. I guess I'll put that over here. It's the best set that they've been a part of, in my opinion. Next would be the Aroma Audio Fei Wan. I'll put this up with Fantastic. This is where some people thought it was like the best in the business, and I bought it and was disappointed, but that's because of expectations more so than what it did. Next, I would put the Titan. I put that down here. It slams, but it doesn't slam as good as the set that's coming up next, which is the Scarlet. So if I'm going for that, I'm going to put that over here. And then after that is the Noble Audio Con, which a lot of people are not fans of. I'm a fan of that set. Like it a lot, actually. After that is the Monarch MK3, the original. There's things about it that I don't like, but I like it. It does what it does well. It's got spectacular mids. The second and third generation were more towards my personal preference, but it was a pioneering set that inspired the Moondrop variations, like to take a BA and to tune it and to cross over and tuck. That was something that set started, and then it was taken forward more by the variations and made slightly more affordable. Slightly. Next would be the Gold Planar GL, the AMT16, which I'll put up on the same thing. The set doesn't get a lot of love. It's got a ridiculously large, heavy package. It's on my Payoneers, my Patreon right now, for people that want to bid on it. I think I love it. Nothing sounds quite like it. It's got an AMT driver in it. After that would be the Alter Ego, which I haven't done a video for yet, and I'll put this up. I'm going to put this up here quite high. It's actually a great set, and when you hit the switch, it goes into a beast mode. And then next would be the Maestro SE, which I'm also going to put in Fantastic. It is for bass lovers, and it's got great treble. It's non-adjustable, though, which is the difference. Same driver count, I believe, as the Grand Maestro. Now we're going to get into the absolute premier stuff. And this would be the Multiverse by Unique Melody, which is just awesome. And then next is another Unique Melody, and this is better than the Multiverse, and this is called the Amber Pearl. There was some drama with that set because it's not considered a Unique Melody, it's considered a KN, but that's not what they said when they did it, but I'll just move along from that. I'll take the Storm and put it up at the top as well. I'll put that ahead of the Multiverse, and then we've got the RN6, which I'll put ahead of the Storm. And then we've got the Grand Maestro, which I'll put ahead of the Amber Pearl. And then I will take the Trieli. A lot of people like the original better than the TI. I disagree. I think it's ridiculous in its price, but I like it better. Then next would be, I'm going to put the Camper 7. Just going off the top of my head right now, I'd probably put it Probably put it between the Singularity and the Prestige LTD. But that's just trying to fill it up. So we started this journey with the Meteor and we ended it with the Camper 622B. I think all of these sets were worth it. Most of them I paid for. Actually, let's go through this. Bought it, 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 was sent to me, was sent to me, bought it, bought it, bought it, bought it, bought it, was sent to me, 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 bought it, was sent to me, bought it, was sent to me, was sent to me, bought it, was bought it, bought it, bought it, bought it, bought it, was sent to me, bought it, bought it, bought it, bought it, bought it, bought it, bought it. Bought it, bought it, bought it, bought it. There's more things that I bought, and most of the high-ranking and expensive ones I paid for. So I think I'm going to zap out of this being in full screen. Let's look at this real quick before we move on. There's biases in here. I'm sure you're going to disagree with it. Don't really care. I think that's the point of putting this up so you can see where I stand. The stuff on the bottom, if we look at it, like the Empire ears, I don't think that ages well. I think the U12T is something I've said since 6 years ago. You can watch the earliest impressions I took of the U12T. I just never understood why it was ranked number one by people. Jack of all trades, fine. Good, highly resolving. Disagree. It's kind of warm. It's not highly resolving. Again, talking about other people, someone just did a video about resolution. The ability to perceive subtle nuances. It's related to transducer quality as well. There's a lot of things. And your hearing ability. And let's talk about something that wasn't mentioned in a video I saw, or I saw the written part. Your listening level is directly correlated to, if you turn something up louder, you're going to pick up more details. So let's say you set stuff up at 77 dB, like I do, and then you're a person that listens at like 85. If you were to like measure it out and say that's a comfortable listening level, you are going to hear things louder than I will, and some sets might appear to be, to you, more resolving than to me. And there's absolutely no difference between the two except turn it up. You literally turn it up more than me. So that's something that when people talk about what does resolution mean and detail retrieval, etc., we need to talk about listening level, because if we're talking about hearing ability, that's a correlation. Some people are turning stuff up more than what you would, and you'd listen to it and say, holy crap, that's too loud. That's why that dude says that sounds highly resolving and you don't, because of the listening level. Now, continuing with this. Not much else to say. Again, now let's take a look at this before we leave and talk about stuff that is Linsol and other sellers. Let me count it up. The critical is, I think that's Linsol still. So there's 1, here's 2, 3, 4, 5, I went through that as you. That's 5 sets that come from them. Now let's count the ones that come from Shenzhen and Hi-Fi Go, which are really, they're essentially the same. So 5 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Six versus 5. Unless I'm totally missing that. Looks like 6 versus 5. That's it for my top 50 speed list. It wasn't quite as speedy because I talked about other stuff, but just so you know, this is stuff that I like. And it's really down to listening level and library. And just that thing that we can't describe that's related to your mood, I suppose. So that's my list. You guys have a great day, and I'll be back in probably 2 days. And I'm out.